What is going on, everyone? We're kicking off Dead by Daylight week here on the YouTube channel. Every day this week, from this one till this coming Friday, there will be a new Dead by Daylight video on the channel. So I hope you all are ready for that juicy content. But, you know, to kick it off, we got a tier list. Can't go wrong with a tier list. We're gonna do a Dead by Daylight tier list based on the scare factor of all the killers. How scary is each killer? We got 5 tiers. We got which is like premium scares. We got pretty spooky, which is like, yeah, you know, pretty spooky. Then we got kinda right in the middle. Then we have in a way, which is like, you know, in a way they're kinda spooky, not really, and then not scary. There's probably only gonna be a couple killers that land in that tier. But without further ado, let's get started. Make sure you like and subscribe. We're gonna kick it off with the OG, my boy. My precious boy Trapper. He's got them overalls on. He's got that crazy mask. And he has just like a giant like machete type thing. I'm gonna put Trapper in. He has a big build. He's a big boy. I'm gonna include some gameplay mechanics into this. So overall, just by like aura, I'd say kinda. But since his traps, if they're well hidden, oh, they catch you by surprise if you accidentally step in one. So I'll probably keep him around the bottom of pretty spooky. Now we have Wraith. He can go invisible, he can, you know, cloak himself, and then bong, 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 and then, oh no, he's right behind me. He also has, like, a really, like, ominous look. Like, he has real skinny legs, but then he also has, like, a big, like, frame. His weapon is also, like, a, you know, a human skull with, like, the spine attached, so I think I'm gonna put him just a smidge above Trapper. When he uncloaks, if you're not paying attention, it definitely can get ya. And now we have Hillbilly. He's wielding a chainsaw, and his face is a little bit disfigured, but other than that, I don't really have too much to say on Hillbilly. I think in a way he's scary because, like, he can run really fast and he has a chainsaw. Just imagining that, like, someone running as fast as a freaking race car darting at you with a chainsaw, that's pretty scary. I wouldn't say he's as scary as these two. These two have, like, an ominous, like, aura about them, but I'm gonna put Hillbilly in kinda scary. Now we have Nurse. Now, just the look alone, I guess it's kind of like a ghost with, like, rags and stuff, so it's like, it's, kind of. She can also, like, you know, blip and teleport to you, and it's, I guess, you know, in-game, it's like, oh, I hope she doesn't, like, you know, appear right next to me, But other than that, Nurse doesn't really, you know, Nurse doesn't really spook me. I can definitely see, like, realistically, like, if you saw Nurse in the real world, like, it'd be kind of scary. She definitely has one of the more weaker looks to her in regards to all the other killers, like how crazy some of these guys get. So we're gonna put her in scary in a way. Now we have Michael Myers. He's a pretty creepy boy in game. He just stalks you. He makes no noise half the time. Plus with the right add-ons, he can kill you right then and there. I've seen pretty much all the Halloween movies, so I know he's like, you know, evil incarnate. He will not die. It takes a hell of a lot to keep this guy down, so I'm gonna put Michael Myers in kinda scary. Plus that music is iconic, and when you hear like the dun 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 dun, you know shit's about to go down, but I'm gonna keep him in kinda scary. Now we have the Hag. The Hag, I'm tempted every time I'm in a Hag game. If I get caught by one of her phantom traps and she has her little, you know, clone pop up in front of me, I, like, at least get somewhat of, like, a little jolt. So just gameplay alone, being in a match with Hag, I know at least once I'm gonna get, like, a little mini jump scare. So I'm gonna put her at the top of pretty spooky. That's just game-wise. She also has a crazy look to her. She has, like, a mangled hand, and, you know, she was once human, and now look at her, like, she just, like, I don't know, she looks like just a bunch of sticks. Just a weird swamp creature, so I'm gonna keep her top of spooky, depending on what we add, and I might put her bottom of And now we have Doctor. If we're just looking at looks, he is a creepy-looking son of a gun, I'll tell you that. Them beady, glowy eyes. His skin is just all, like, torn and stuff. Even on some skins, like, his back is all ripped up. Plus, that laugh is just unsettling. I wouldn't say his laugh is scary. I think I'm gonna put Doctor at the top of the kinda tier. There's a case to be made for maybe at the bottom of pretty spooky or something like that, but I don't know. Just, like, other than, like, his face and the laugh, and also taking into account what he does to, like, his victims, all the shock therapy stuff. You know what, the more I think about it, I think I'm gonna put him bottom of pretty spooky. And now we have Huntress. Other than the humming and the fact that you can get slapped by a hatchet from across the map, Huntress isn't all that scary. I think she has a more intimidating presence than Nurse, so I'll put her above Nurse, but I don't see her on the same level as Michael Myers or Hillbilly. The main thing that, like, brings scare factor, for me at least, is just the hatchets, you know. You can be minding your own business and whoa, then out of nowhere. So Huntress, in a way, is scary. Now we have Bubba. He is a cannibal. His family is demented. He wields a chainsaw just like Hillbilly. He doesn't run super fast. Most people who play him are really annoying. You know, the whole basement shtick, all that garbage. I feel like Hillbilly is more scary only because he can run really fast. If we're going based off like look and background, I'd say Leatherface is a bit scarier than Hillbilly, but Hillbilly has that ability to just like dart right after you. Leatherface is kind of like a big oaf, a big goofball who just so happens to be a cannibal and wields a chainsaw. I'm gonna put Leatherface in kinda, but I'm gonna keep him under Hillbilly. And now we have Freddy, a literal dream demon. You know, you go to sleep and oh boy, there he is. Nothing you can do about it unless you just happen to wake yourself up or have somebody to wake you up. The whole map turns to gray. You have the ominous laughter in the background. He's more sinister in the reboot, which Reboot Freddy is what they use in Dead by Daylight. I'll put him a smidge above Michael Myers. Sure, he might just look like a basic dude with a sweater and a hat, but he is like, you know, he's got that burned face. Also, the glove with the finger knives on it is a pretty crazy weapon. He still has some, you know, scary qualities. So I'm gonna put Freddy in kinda. And now we have Pig, going straight into the gameplay factor, the whole sneaking up on somebody and then launching at them, that, you know, the roar. Pig going in her little stealth mode is kind of spooky if it catches you off guard. And, you know, also just the look of her, she's like wearing a dead pig head for a mask. I'd say Pig is on the more unsettling side rather than scary, but nevertheless still kind of sadistic. You know what, since we're going to focus on game-wise, in-game Freddy isn't all that intimidating, so I'm going to move him underneath Michael Myers. I think Pig and Michael Myers honestly are interchangeable. Like, depending on who's playing them, I think Michael could be scarier than Pig, but sometimes Pig can get herself a few good scares. But nevertheless, Pig is going in the kind of scary tier. And now we have Clown, and, you know, me personally, I'm not scared of clowns. I think they're big, silly goofballs. Gameplay-wise, he's more, like, on the annoying side of things. He throws his potions at you, and, you know, they make you go, oh, I can't see, or, oh, I'm slow. But I will admit, he isn't, like, not scary totally, but yeah, just not much going for him. He's more silly than scary. He's got a big old belly, and, you know, he laughs, which is, like, again, more annoying than scary. But I think if I was scared of clowns, I'd be much more afraid of him. So I'm gonna put Clown bottom of In a Way. You know, I'll put him above Nurse, honestly. Like, look-wise, he's more scary looking than Nurse. I still think Huntress throwing a hatchet from halfway across the map is scarier than, you know, Clown throwing a bottle halfway across the map. So yeah. Right in between. We have Spirit, definitely gonna be one of the top 2 tiers. Just the look of her, she's got like the shards inside of her white eyes, and just like that creepy smile, or like just the facial expressions, even the noises she makes. And I haven't even mentioned her in-game ability, which is, you know, she's going invisible and she's phasing throughout the map. She'll pop up right next to you. You'll hear like the whispers in your ear, or like whatever noise it is. So honestly, I'd say her and Hag are neck and neck. I think I still get more scared of Hag. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna, you know what? I think Hag is just a tiny step above Spirit. So Hag, just gameplay wise, now if we're going based on look and everything overall, I'll probably keep Hag pretty spooky, but just in the world of Dead by Daylight, Hag, you know, gives me the most heebie-jeebies. Spirit is up there though, pretty spooky. And now we have Legion. There's like 4 of them or whatever. They're a gang of misfits who like to just dress up with their masks and their hoodies, and yeah, they're not that scary. If anything, they seem kind of weak and not very intimidating. They have a weapon. That's like the only scary thing about them, is that they have a weapon. And you know, if someone's running at you somewhat fast with a knife, you're gonna be like, oh god, ah. But yeah, no, Legion, not scary at all. And now we have Plague. Yeah, it's, you know, a bit scarier than Legion. She has the ability to, you know, give you an infection and make you all sick and throw up everywhere. I think I'll put Plague right here and In a Way, but there's not that much to really be scared of. Plague has something going for her, but not too much. Not really all that scary. But now that I'm thinking about it, that long string of vomit when she's like projectile vomiting on you is kind of creepy. So I'll put her a bit above Nurse. And you know what? I'll put her top of In a Way, because her face is like kind of covered halfway. It's all like decayed probably from all the, you know, disease and whatnot. So like I said, she has something going for her, but nothing that'll like, you know, push her to the top of this tier list. And now we have Ghostface. I know if I'm working on a gen and I look behind me and I just see a little mask peeking around a corner, I'm gonna go, ah, like I'll get a little bit of a jump, but nothing too crazy. Like after you see him, he's not scary at all. Not as intimidating as Michael Myers. He's kind of a little guy. Michael, you know, big and tall, big old knife. Since he is like a stealth killer, he can have like the scare factor to him by getting the little jump on you, surprising you. So I'll put him at the bottom of kinda. And now we have Demogorgon, our first little otherworldly creature. Demogorgon is from the Upside Down. Man, look how lanky and tall that boy is. Demogorgon has that big old mouth, it's almost like a flower. Got all them teeths, and he will not hesitate to rip whatever is in front of him to shreds. I think I'll put him top of pretty spooky. Maybe cause like, you know, if we take him into the real world, if I saw that thing across the street, and he's like darting at me, I'm gonna be freaking the hell out. Look-wise, I think he's a step above Spirit. So yeah, Demogorgon, gonna sit nicely up top. Plus that like dash that Demogorgon has. Oh my god, dude. Imagine they're just right at you. Oh god. And now we have Oni. He's a big hunkin' samurai man or whatever. I don't know. He's a big boy, and he roars with rage and bloodlust. He's a big, crazy, scary man, dude. There's really not anything else to say. He's like a demon, I think. I think Wraith has like the ability to maybe get like a little jump scare on you. But Oni is so damn big and intimidating. I think I'm going to keep him a little bit above Wraith, but they could be interchangeable for different reasons. Don't want that big man running after me. And now we have Deathslinger. He just looks like kind of like an old school cowboy, a little bit of a redneck with the gun. His weapon's pretty creepy. It's a rifle with like a spear attached, so that's, you know, that's pretty crazy. But other than his weapon, he's just kind of a normal dude. Honestly, yeah, bottom of in a way. He's just a normal dude with like a gun. Really all I can say. And now we have Executioner Pyramid Head. Another, you know, kind of big boy. He's very muscular, but he has that big ass sword. He leaves trails of barbed wire everywhere. I haven't seen Silent Hill or played any of the games, but I know, you know, he's probably like sadistic and he would not mind torturing anybody that he comes across. I feel like a few people might find it actually kind of silly, the giant pyramid on his head, but I just think it makes him more ominous. Like, you don't know what the hell's underneath that big old pyramid. So I think I'll put him above Trapper. He looks a bit more ominous and his weapon is like way bigger. So yeah, if I saw this dude on the street and he was like slowly walking after me, I would be running for the hills. And now we have Blight. Speaking of running for the hills, we got another fast boy. Hillbilly has a chainsaw and runs really fast. Blight is what does he have? Like, he has like a little staff or something? So power-wise, he's on the same level of Hillbilly, just running really fast at you with a weapon. I think Blight looks a bit more scarier than Hillbilly, but I think it's another case where they're kind of interchangeable. I think I'm gonna put Blight in the kinda tier, because he's kinda scary, but nothing too crazy. I don't know where exactly to put him. A little bit above Bubba, only because, you know, I could probably outrun Bubba. Blight, if he caught up to me, regardless of, you know, what weapon he had, I would assume he's out to just, like, hurt me. And now we have the twins. They have an interesting look. Charlotte has, you know, little Victor attached to her. Charlotte alone isn't that intimidating. I mean, she kind of got that mean look on her face, but other than that, she just seems like a normal person. It's really Victor who's the star of the show here when we're talking about scares. That little dude running super fast at you, just launch at you, his growls and his I don't even, his wails, I guess? I don't even know. Just the noises he makes are just a little unsettling. And they're not just like a person in a mask, I'm looking at you, Ghostface, with like a little mini knife. So going based off looks, I'd put them in kind of scary, but the fact that Victor is really fast, and he can just launch on you, and Charlotte can just send him out whenever the hell she pleases. I feel like it makes the twins overall a bit more scarier than some of the killers here. They're pretty creepy, so I'm gonna put them above Pig. I'm thinking maybe Pig honestly could go underneath Michael. I don't know why, I just feel like Michael's more intimidating. And while we're at it, maybe I shouldn't have been talking about the movies, because like, you know, movie-wise, I'd keep Freddy up here, or maybe very bottom of Pretty Spooky. But, you know, in game, the more I think about it, Freddy is just not all that scary. Hell, I hate to do this. I love Freddy Krueger, but god dang, man. I'm just talking myself into putting Freddy a little bit lower and lower. But you have to remember, he's a dream demon. So, like, you know, he can kill you in your sleep. So you gotta remember that. He's not just a dude in a sweater, even though that's kind of what he feels like in Dead by Daylight. You know, I talked myself into putting him back up here. He's still above Ghostface. Ghostface is just, like, he's sneaky. That's it. Alright, moving on. We're wasting too much time here. We got Trickster. Trickster has no scary qualities whatsoever. He seems like a lovely little guy who just would, you know, you play baseball with him. He has that bat. He played baseball with Trickster, I guess, but he probably wouldn't want to get his little jacket dirty or whatever. Even Legion's a bit scarier than him. He has, like, his little knives that he throws, but just, I don't know. They're too, like, glowy and bright to where, like, it doesn't even seem like the knives would hurt you. It feels like they're just for show, which I know isn't true, obviously, but Trickster's not scary at all. Keeping him at the bottom. Not scary. And now we have Nemesis. Put him in the tier of the big hunky big boys that are gonna chase you down. You know what? Honestly, I think he's a bit scarier than Oni. Just like, because you can hear his footsteps more, like the gloom, gloom. Just like the ground shakes when he runs after you. Even though his tentacle whip isn't like, you know, the scariest thing, it's still kind of intimidating, you know? He could be like right behind you, then whoop-ha, like right out, you know, right behind you. Ah, spooky. So Nemesis, you're gonna chill at the top of Pretty Spooky. He just, you know, he's a big boy. Pinhead, he is another demon type person. He's a very menacing son of a gun. He's got the coat on, plus, you know, the pins coming out of his head. He has a very ominous, kind of creepy look to him, but he's not all that scary. I mean, yeah, he's a demon, but, you know, he says shit like, you know, I came, which, you know, kind of funny. So Pinhead, I'm gonna put you, ooh, I guess at bottom of kinda, because he can send chains at you, which is a little freaky. He looks a little freaky. You know, since he's a demon, I'll put him next to Fred. Right above Freddy. I think that's a good little spot for him. And now we have Artis. Artis is not that scary at all. I like Artis quite a bit. Artis is more along the lines of I'd want to go hang out with them, rather than if I saw him in the street, I'd be like, what the hell? You know, I'd be like, wow, you got an interesting little look to you. You like birds, huh? Alright, let's go, you know, let's go, like, grab pizza or something. Me and Artis would vibe. Me, Artis, Trickster, and if Legion stops acting like an edgy little rat, you know, we could all hang out. Artis isn't scary. She can't send crows at you. So if you're not paying attention, and halfway across the map, you know, ah, and then a crow comes at you. Her noises too, the noises she makes are a little unsettling, like the croaking. So she has something going for her. In a way, she's kind of scary, but honestly, I'm a little bit more afraid of Artist than Deathslinger, really. Now we have Sadako. Stayed in a well for quite some time, you know, crawls out of TVs, pretty spooky. She can go invisible at times, you know, I'm still not for sure entirely how she works. Yeah, but Sadako is pretty scary. Honestly, if we're being real, just like a little ghost girl just like following you around, crawling out of shit. That one skin that she has in the game where it's like all skeleton, that's really creepy looking. But just her normal look in general is still pretty creepy. I think I'll put her right above Hig. I think Michael Myers is still more intimidating, but you know, Sadako is up there. And now we have Dredgington, probably gonna put him up here with otherworldly beings. He's just like darkness and hatred and fear and just all that crap. He's just like an entity. He's not the entity, but he is like an entity. He's just like darkness, but if it was a weird fleshy son of a gun who can like teleport to lockers. I think I'm going to put him above Demogorgon. And if we're going based on looks, I'll put him above Hag. But if we're talking about gameplay, you know, Nightfall, you know, pretty creepy. All the wails and screams from, like, the people trapped inside of his darkness, I guess that's what that is. I do feel like I get jump scared by Hag a little bit more than Dredge, though, you know, walking into her phantom traps. But Dredge has, like, the look, the background, just, you know, what he is. So I think I'm going to put Dredge just slightly above Hag. Dredge, you know, if I'm, like, walking near a locker and I just hear that locker, you know, bang, even if he doesn't fully teleport to it, it's still like a, oh god, he's coming. So Dredge is going to take that top spot for now. Moving on to Wesker, I'm not going to dwell on this doofus for that long. He's not that scary. He has a lot of confidence, which confidence is key, queen, yeah, slay, and whatnot. But, you know, he's just, I don't know, I hate Wesker. You know, he's got a tentacle, and he can dash you. That's pretty creepy. So given all that stuff, I still hate the bastard. I will put him, I'll put him above Deathslinger. I still think Artist might be like a little bit just creepier. The Knight, he is a big boy. He's got all that metal clanking. He's got them ghost little prisoner people or whatever the hell. I feel like Knight is underrated when it comes to scare factor, but I will say he is not that scary. But you know, I just feel like he's a little bit overlooked. I feel like people don't give him enough credit for being a scary little ghost knight thing. He's not going with the other big hunky boys that like chase you down, run fast, or just are very intimidating, but he does have some good scare factor to him, so I will put, honestly, I feel like I'm more intimidated by Michael, honestly. He's just like staring at me. Knight I'll put above Sadako, but maybe if I like thought about it a little more, I could move him up, but under Michael, above Sadako. And now we have Skull Merchant. She's not scary at all. She's got her drones. Again, one of the more like annoying killers, so it's hard to look past that. I'll probably put Skull Merchant. I mean, if she's hunting me down, probably more scary than Artist. But other than that, you know, I guess she's somewhat scary. Not really, though. It's more of like the fear of being hunted by her, I guess. And finally, the newest killer in Dead by Daylight, we have the Singularity. He's a pretty weird little guy, honestly. He's like a mixture of flesh and metal. He's like a robot. He's an AI. He wants to overthrow the human race and whatnot. Singularity is a little intimidating. I think to me the scariest thing about the Singularity is his like AI voice. You know, when he's doing the Mori and he's like, die fast. And even the lines where it's like, you will die quickly and it might even be painless. I think that's just those lines alone are like, oh, okay, this dude means business. Honestly, you know what? I'm going to put him in pretty spooky. I haven't played too many games against him, so I don't know how to really feel like in-game wise. But just what I've seen and just the look of the guy, I might put him a tiny bit, I mean, he's not human too, that's a thing. Honestly, he might be a tiny bit spookier than than Pyramid Head, just like the unknown of like this AI robot thing. But once I play more matches against him, I'll probably have a different opinion. I might maybe have him like sink a little lower, hell, maybe I'll raise him a little bit, but I think right here in pretty spooky, right in the middle, is a good little spot for him. But that is gonna do it! There we have the Dead by Daylight killer tier list based on the scare factor, how scary every killer is. I could honestly probably move Deathslinger down here. You know, the only thing going for him is his weapon. But other than that, I think it is all finished. Thank you for watching. Leave in the comments your top 3 scariest killers in the game. I obviously have mine up here. I think, honestly, I can move Spirit and Nemesis up to this top category. But I tried to be fair and, like, round it out based on, like, lore, gameplay, the way they look, and how I feel personally about them. So this tier list is probably one of the more messier ones I'll ever do, but you know, it is what it is. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow for another Dead by Daylight video. Bye-bye.